Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, the contest chair, good morning.
Good morning.
He was only 22 years old. He was young. He was vibrant. He was full of energy. I remember as young kids, we used to reminisce and talk about the great days ahead. We talked about moving back to Nigeria. I would become president. He would be the vice president. We talked about starting different companies, although we had no idea what company we wanted to start, but we knew we wanted to start something. We talked about the beautiful wives that we're going to marry as the years go by, not realizing that at the end we have to settle for just one. Life was great. The future looked bright. But then as time went along, things started to change. I decided to stay in New Jersey to further my university education, while Tom decided to move on to Miami, Florida to further his education. And days turned into months, and months went into years. And just like that, we lost touch. For 3 long years, we lost touch. But suddenly one day while I was in a picnic in Philadelphia, I noticed this tall man that looked like Osama bin Laden. He had hair here, he had a beard, he looked very good, and he looked very tall, very vibrant, and I was so excited. Is that Tom right down the hall? And I run across the field. I was excited, I see him, I grabbed him, gave him a bear hug. It was so good to see him again after 3 long years. And I remember instantly we started to talk and reminisce about the days of old. We talked about those days when we were kids, those days as teenagers when we chased after the different women and we made fun of each other. But I realized through the excitement, there was something wrong somewhere. He looked joyful to see me, but deep down inside, I could tell that he was sad. But unfortunately, I only had about 30 minutes with Tom that day. And Tom dropped me off at the train station. I remember getting out of his car. I turned around, I waved goodbye to him. He drove his way, and I went my way. 2 weeks later, I found out that Tom was arrested and was convicted for armed robbery. And not only that, for gun possession. He was sentenced to 24 years in prison. 24 years. I will never get to see Tom till he's 46 years old. I was shocked. I was so sad. I was so down. But then I made a decision. We lost touch for 3 long years, and I was not going to lose touch till we're 46 years old. So I decided to start writing letters to Tom. So I reached out to his family. I found out his information, and I started to write letters to Tom, prison number 354306. And after writing 3-4 letters, he started to respond. And we started to send letters back and forth, and the excitement was there again. There was joy. And once again, we were connected. But I noticed something in our letters. I noticed we started to tell each other how much we cared about one another. Things we never said when we were together, we started to write them in letters. Tom told me how much I inspired him. And I told him how much I looked up to him as a brother. Tom told me how much he cared and missed me. And I talked about how much I looked forward to seeing him again when he comes out of prison. There was joy in the air once again. Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, do you realize that many times in life, we tend to vent our frustrations on the people that we love and truly care about? Yet when we're around people that we can't stand at workplaces, we fake a smile. Do you realize that many times in life, we don't say those things that we really, really need to say to those people around us, but then at their funeral, or when we're writing letters to them, we start to pour out our hearts. Why do we wait so long till it's quote-unquote too late to encourage and share how much we feel about that person around us? Many years ago, I had an opportunity to meet a young lady whose son, at the age of 14 years old, died on the basketball courts. He was playing basketball with his friends, true story, and he slumped and he just died. Just like that. No previous health problems. The doctors had no idea what happened to him. He just passed away. And she told me the whole town shut down that lovely day, and they all came to the funeral. And his teachers and his friends, parents, people in church came together, and many people came up and started to talk about all the great things they knew about this young child. Many talked about how he lent them their pencil in school. Many talked about how he encouraged them when they were sad one day. Many walked up to him and talked about how much they have missed him, how much they're going to be missing him. But as she was sharing these stories with me, yes, I was drawn to her story. Yes, I was caught up in the emotions. Yes, I was saddened. But then I asked myself a question. Did these people share this message with this young child before he died? Did anybody ever walk up to him and actually say, "You inspire me, and I love and I truly care about you"? When last have you told your son or your daughter that you're proud of them? When last have you told your husband or your wife that you love them? When last have you told your brother, your sister, your mother, your father that you care about them? Why do we wait till it's too late to share these things with people? I'd like to challenge us this morning. I want to challenge us to encourage someone today, to encourage someone now. We don't have to wait till it's too late. You don't have to wait till the person is gone, till you start pouring out your heart and sharing how you truly feel. I regret it. I don't get to see Tom till he's 46 years old. And all I have now is a letter to write to him. And all I get from him is a letter as well. So encourage today, encourage now. It's Toastmaster.